When you hear the words healthy body, what do you think? It's probably safe to say a body that has strong, healthy bones, a body that's able to fight infection and heal, one that's able to fight depression, and of course a body that's in shape. Wouldn't it be nice if there was just one thing that could help us achieve all of this? There is vitamin D, but experts say nearly half of us don't get the vitamin D our body needs. So how do you know if you're getting enough vitamin D? Here are some signs that you may be D deficient. The sun, salmon, tuna, milk, cereal, pork, eggs, mushrooms, they all are great sources of vitamin D, but most Americans are deficient in it. How do you know if you're one of them? 5 signs you may be lacking in vitamin D. First off, muscle weakness. If you don't have the same stamina you had a few years ago, check your D level. According to the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology, women lacking in this vitamin are twice as likely to suffer depression. Insufficient levels of vitamin D have been linked to chronic pain, especially in African Americans. Vitamin D plays a role in heart health as well, so when you don't get enough, your blood pressure can creep up. If you suffer from these signs, see a doctor because the solution may be in a simple supplement. Another sign, a study in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine reported lower levels of vitamin D were also linked to higher levels of daytime sleepiness. But there are also cases when people with vitamin D deficiencies don't have any symptoms at all. That's why it's best to talk with your doctor if you're concerned. So you may be wondering why many people don't get the vitamin D they need. According to the Vitamin D Council, there are a couple of reasons. First, many people just don't get enough sunlight, which is usually able to give the body the vitamin D it needs. The second reason, the council says many people don't take supplements, and it's very difficult to get enough vitamin D your body needs from the foods that have it, such as salmon, tuna, milk, and eggs, like we mentioned. After hearing that, you may think that getting enough vitamin D seems like an easy fix. Just get outside and take supplements. But it's not so simple. Obviously, when it comes to being outside, there's a concern over developing skin cancer. So you have to be careful and be safe in the sun. That means don't forget the sunscreen. On top of that, a spokesperson with the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics says it's wise to limit your exposure to the sun to 15 minutes on your arms and legs a few times a week. You can also combine that with vitamin D supplements, but of course you want to talk with your doctor before doing that so you're taking the proper amount. Just so you know, the Institute of Food and Agricultural Sciences recommends children and teens get 600 international units or IUs of vitamin D every day. It's the same recommendation for adults up to age 70. The Institute says adults over the age of 70 should get 800 IUs, and pregnant or breastfeeding women should get 600. Well, getting our kids to get enough vitamin D is only half the battle for a lot of parents. It can be hard sometimes to get them to eat anything, let alone something healthy. Our next guest has been there, done that, all while maintaining a career in front of the camera. Jimmy?
She may be best known for her role as April GIMINSKI on Baywatch. Actress Kelly Packard has also landed guest roles on hit shows such as Blossom, The Wonder Years, Boy Meets World, Step by Step. But her most important role to her is being mom to her 4 children. And just like most parents, Kelly knows all about how picky our kids can be when it comes to their food. She joins us now with some great advice on how we can make meals and snacks more interesting for the little ones. Kelly, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So first off, a husband, 4 kids, 13 pets, a career in Hollywood. How in the world do you make all that work?
It sounds exhausting, doesn't it?
It does.
And trying to get your kids to eat right and no, it's tough, and it's a constant battle in our house. You know, with 4 kids, we run the gamut of picky in our house. So trying to introduce new things to them can be a challenge. But I've learned as a mom, making it fun and creative is the key.
So that's the big thing. We all have problems getting them to eat healthy. So making it fun is the key.
Yep, making it fun and also getting them involved. If they're helping you make something, odds are they're going to want to eat it.
That's awesome. Is there something we can do to make it fun?
Yeah, well, food in general, trying something fun is key. I know for me, I'm an on-the-go mom, so making a snack that's readily accessible at all times is a good thing.
Right.
And in this case, in our house, we like to kind of disguise the vegetables, or I should say hide them. In cream cheese, for example, you smush it all up, and then you roll it out onto bread, and then you cut it up, and we call these smooshy rolls in our house. So they look like sushi rolls. My kids think they're eating something really cool. You can do bananas and peanut butter as well. But that makes, if you can do a day of like meal planning, meal prepping, it helps, because if your kids see that in the fridge, they're going to reach for it just as quickly as they would reach for a bag of chips.
Right. Okay. It looks like you got a whole table full of stuff here. What else have you got?
I do. So breakfast, huge part of the day, right? In my house, I like to do things that are creative by making skewers, for example, out of whole wheat waffles and some fruit. They're going to start off on a great day. Same with cereal. You put your milk in there, you're getting your vitamins. Lunch. Who knew that cutting a sandwich into a shape would make your kids eat it? But it really is that simple. And again, let them cut it out. Let them pick their shape.
Yeah.
Then they're going to want to eat it. Vegetables. Nobody likes vegetables plain. I mean, it's just the truth. So add hummus, add ranch, add cream cheese, things that they can dip their vegetables into. It will make all the difference in the world.
Wow, I can see that. Okay, so we got stuff for the kids. Got any suggestions for us grown-ups?
Absolutely. You know, every now and then I can only get a protein shake in if I'm lucky for breakfast.
Right.
So I will oftentimes do that. My husband does the same thing. You know, you got to remember that your kids are watching you and they eat what you eat. So if you eat healthy, good stuff, they're going to want to emulate you and make it fun. Like, ooh, this is exciting, you know?
That makes sense. That makes sense. Now, talking about healthy lifestyle.
Absolutely.
One of the things that appears to be really important to you is screen time. What are your thoughts on that?
We absolutely limit our TV watching, and that's only because nowadays with everything that the kids have, the iPads and the video games and this and that, they're never outside, they're never doing things that we used to do when we were a kid. So we limit actually no TV during school days. I know I'm going to sound like a harsh mom, but no TV during the week. They can have minimal on the weekend. If we do sit down and watch something together, it's usually a family movie or something of that nature.
And you've got to enforce it. You've got to enforce it.
Yes, you absolutely have to.
Can I do a little sidebar here? Some may not realize that you're Mormon.
Sure.
What do you think is the most misunderstood thought about your faith?
That's a really good question. There's a lot of misunderstood things about me. My family and I were just on Celebrity Wife Swap, so we put it out there for the world to see that we are Mormon and we're normal. It's like, you know, the misconceptions that go with that, I've heard them my whole life. But bottom line is my priority is my family. They're my everything. And that's really what, you know, as a church as a whole we promote is family time, being together, and loving, you know, loving life.
Kelly, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Before I let you go, what's coming up for work for you?
You know, I actually am just getting my toes wet. I started working again in January. The baby's getting to an age where I can kind of leave her for a minute. I did a film for Lifetime. It's called The Watcher. It'll be on in the fall, so you can watch for that.
Yeah.
I mentioned Celebrity Wife Swap. I think it's going to be rerunning here soon. So I'm just kind of getting my feet wet and deciding, you know, if I'm really ready to start working again.
That's terrific. Kelly, enjoy, and thank you so much for your time with us this afternoon. Now, if you'd like to read more about what Kelly just had to say, all you have to do is go to WBOC.com and click on our picture at the top of the page. Okay, so we want our kids to stay active. Here's one way we can certainly get them moving. Up next on Delmarva Life, we're visiting Midway Speedway Park in Rehoboth Beach, but it's not just for the little ones. We're going to show you the fun for all ages. And if you're getting up there in age, maybe you've noticed a few gray sprouts popping up on your scalp. Nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, a lot of people are embracing it. A little bit later on, we're going to learn how to go gray gracefully. We're also learning that Sean Stryker's pretty good at stumping us in this guessing game we like to call Search for a Striker. Not today, Stryker, not today! But first we need a clue.
Yeah, Jimmy, well, I'm looking to keep my streak alive, but I'm still going to give you some good clues. Here's my first one. If you're looking for an interesting place to catch a flick, you might want to check out this town as it's home to Delaware's last remaining first-run single-screen theater. Any guesses? Well, coming up, I have 2 more clues. Delmarva Life, we'll be right back.